the game, being locked in, and I mean, you gotta know the score. That's just kind of basketball. Like, you gotta know if you're winning or losing or tied. So, like I said, we'll take it, and sometimes it's good to be a little lucky. So, hey, Steve, cool. It is what it is.
Draymond is appreciative of a little luck, courtesy of one J.R. Smith. But what I thought was interesting there, guys, are the two head coaches. Now, granted, this was after game one. Coach Lue probably still a little bit raw. Heading into game two, he said that, we weren't benching J.R., confidence still in him. But in terms of that press conference, did he throw his guy under the bus a little bit?
Yes.
Right? Like, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
So then, did he handle it right? Because you realize that they have a timeout left in that situation, right? Like, he didn't call a timeout before the free throws. I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking at George Hill like he about to miss that second free throw. You can see it all in his eyes. Yeah. So he didn't exactly set his team up for greatness either. I mean, JR, yeah, it's a big-time blunder. You're a professional athlete. But Lou, where does Lou fall in this? And of course, nobody's even really talking about the fact that George Hill missed the free throw.
It was just all about court and game awareness. And I feel like at this point in his career, any professional basketball player, you got to have that ability. And like you said, Tyronn Lue was very raw after the game. It was frustrating for everybody after overtime. Warriors just took the momentum. But like you said, where is the blame for George Hill? I mean, missing that second free throw from the charity stripe, it's free for you. And I think the funniest thing, and we're going to talk about this later, but the funniest thing is that when J.R. Smith gets the rebound, they're like, this is not a game of 21. You don't have to bring it back before you try to score. I think that's hilarious. And it looks like he was just so out of whack that honestly that looked like what he was doing. Tyronn Lue has no choice but to, when you address and answer that question, you have to point out JR's role in it and just being a little clueless.
Yeah, but you were going to say, we don't know if my man was going to make the layup anyway, Wilson. Like, what were you doing, coach? Like, did you have game awareness? You know who you're dealing with.
I think Tyronn Lue, the player, answered that question.
Okay.
Tyronn Lue, the coach, I don't think he's dealt with this head on yet. Like, as a player, I think he's like, seriously, dude? Like, how can you? Then the line about he probably would have missed the layup or maybe when he missed it, that's a player-type response. So, I mean, the tough part is JR wears the face of this. You're the head coach. You didn't know that he had a timeout?
Yeah, I mean, I echo that. Like, again, Princess made a point. George Hill missed the free throw. And like you said, that first free throw, we all knew he was going to miss the second one. The first one.
Look at his eyes, right?
The first one, even though he made it, I was like, bro, what? How did that go in? So George Hill is completely has been let off the hook, even though, you make two free throws as an 81% free as a point guard. This is easy. This is the even series right now. Tyronn Lue, again, and Will made a great point. That probably is the player and not the coach, because as a coach, again, you rely too heavily on J.R. Smith. So for you to even knowing that you had a timeout and you didn't call it, and I mean the whole last 5 seconds of that game is so bizarre. I still, days later, am having difficulty trying to wrestle with it in my head. I also feel I feel a way that the only two times that this has happened in the NBA playoffs happened to two former Knicks. I don't know what else that we can say, you know what I'm saying? But
it seems cursed.
We're just
hypothetically, guys, we got to wrap up this block. But hypothetically, just watching the way those two coaches responded to the incident, Steve Kerr definitely gets the award for grace in that one. Of course, he also got the win in that game. Play along.
Okay.
Should the coaches switch teams in this instance? Does that go that way?
I would say this: if they switch teams, JR probably would have been starting if Steve Kerr was the coach for the Cavs.
Would
not be.
Okay.
The reason being, Nick Young's been on the Warriors, right? They also have JaVale McGee. Do they ever put those dudes in them type of positions?
They start with JaVale.
JaVale started.
No, but it's in spurts.
Okay.
It is not continuous. It is a spurt.
You're equivocating JR to Nick Young and JaVale McGee, yes.
Because, as Armon pointed out, it's a luxury, right? So when Nick Young plays well, you go, hey, let's ride this a little bit longer, right? You let that go. When he's Nick Young, you go, hey, who's coming in for Nick?
Get the guy.
And that's the biggest thing. Like, as Princess brought up, that 2016 championship team, JR was a luxury for them. That's why I think it was love. Now, you're relying on that. That's different for a player like that.
All right, y'all, I'm getting a signal to wrap up the first block. It was entertaining. It's why y'all my 3 favorites in the business to have on the show. When we come back, we're not quite done with the NBA Finals just yet. A little bit more sound to listen to. We'll look at Game 2, and of course, we look ahead to the last 5 games in the series. And we got to check in with our Washington Mystics to see what they're doing in the WNBA standings. Stick around. More Roundball Report is coming right back at you.